So this is what I have for a little fuel trip. Howdy fixers, so today we're going after the water pump and time cover and radiator on this 2098 Dodge Durango. First thing to do is get your fan and your shred out, 410s, 36mm nut, and then we're going to take our belt off, and then we're going to start going after our AC compressor, our alternator, and eventually our water pump down here, and get that out of the way and expose our timing cover. It's leaking right over here where you can see all this brown stuff. So here we go. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. So this is a 15mm. I'm going to take our belt off. Next steps, I'm going to take a 10 and take this cable off. And then I'm going to check my alternator off. So we're going to go ahead and take our alternator off. This one up here. We're going to go ahead and take these off. Okay, so my next step is I'm going to go ahead and get these 13s out so I can take this compressor and put it over here somewhere. And then this will come off, and then get this bracket off, and then get my alternator out of there. So now that the AC is out of the way, it's out of the way. You don't want to bend these lines too bad because you can get the refrigerant or get the line to break and it'll leak. But it's out of the way right now. We got these 2 7s for this here. Take these off, then I'll go after my, I think that's a 10. Can't really see, but take that off, and the alternator out of the way. Okay, so now you want to go around and look for all these 14s. There's a 13 here, you gotta take that off, and you gotta take this off in order to get this right there, take that off. And you want to make sure you inspect your hoses. This one is about to come apart, so we're gonna replace that here. You gotta get this pulley out of the way. Once you get this pulley out of the way, one more pull. You want to go ahead and get your hoses off, all these clamps, and get these 14s out of here, and then come off. So now that you have all these bolts out, these bolts are super long to go all the way through to your timing cover, and if you do a water pump, it sometimes relaxes the gasket, so you just want to make sure you put RTV on and go back in. Go ahead and you get all these 1/2-inch bolts out of the way, and then we're going to go ahead and get this big nut out, and we're going to get our puller on here, and we're going to get this off. I got my nut off here, that's 1.25 inches. So we're going to go ahead and get a harmonic balancer puller on there and pull the puller off. I got my tensioner in place, and we're going to go ahead and pull it out. Okay. So underneath here, there's a couple of 13s there, here, and the left 14s all the way up the top. Okay. So I went and took off my thermostat because I might as well just do it now. And then I went ahead and I cleaned all this off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blow it off with some air, and then I'm just going to tap a little bit here, and it should pop out of there. So now it's open. Chain's pretty loose. It's not that bad though. It's seen worse. So I'm gonna spin this to where my 2 dots, I do believe there's 2 dots here, line up, and then we'll work on taking the chains off. So this is what it looks like when it's out, and this is the side that was blown out. And the thing about this is these 2 bolts and these 2 bolts are part of the water pump. And when you replace the water pump, it releases the gasket, it does something, and they about, I don't know, I can't really say how long, but within a short amount of period of time they usually leak. So guy can get away with just doing the water pump, but you're gonna have to end up doing this eventually. But that's what it looks like when it go ahead and blows by. And the other side looks pretty decent, like it wasn't quite there yet, but this side was. I got my mark here lined up, and I'm going to take this off just to make sure this is the correct mark. There's actually a mark up here. I'm not sure, I can't find any information on this mark here, but I have my mark here. I have my gear, and it slides on, and it's marked where it's supposed to. For this, the top cam gear to still be 180 out from this. So I'm just going to take this off and see where it's lined up. If it's in the correct position, then I know I did it correctly. Alright, so you want to go ahead and you want to hold the cam with something. I have this, so it doesn't spin on there. It's not as... Pop it off with a 5/8 socket. So I was correct, I was 180 out, so this is all the way over here. So that's where the mark's at, so that would put my mark at the top and not lined up like it's supposed to be. So I need to rotate it, and then I have another mark on the bottom, and do this dot here. So I'll show you that in a second. So now you want to line up dot to dot, and it looks pretty straight. I'm going to take this off. So the way this comes off is just wiggles and pulls. You gotta pull this off in one piece, or at least you have to put it back on as one piece. So you have to put this on and put your chain on all in one motion. So I'm not gonna be able to show that because I don't have a hands-free unit, but I'm sure that's gonna be good. So now that the chain is off, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean all this stuff up and put a rag right here so nothing falls into the pan. We're gonna make it nice and shiny. So this is what it looks like. It's all clean. We're going to put some RTV around these corners here so that everything is nice and sealed. And the chain back on. So it's back on there. You just want to tap with a soft mallet here, and just kind of go in place. So I'll put my bolt on, torque it to spec, and there we go. So I went ahead and I put smart TV on both sides. Down here, smart TV to hold this in place, and we're going to put it back on there. On all these bolts, they go with the water jacket, like these water pump bolts and these ones down here. You want to make sure that you put RTV on it so they get sealed from the water, if not they'll leak. So I got it back in place. I got a clamp on here. This is the way you want to have your clamps, or your bracket won't go back on. And that's about it. Howdy YouTube. So that is how you do the water pump and timing chain and timing cover gasket on your... Well, that was a 5.9, and I think they did that from 95 up until about 05, the 5.9. Just a big coincidence. Actually, the next day after I did this one, I did a 5.9 and a Ram 25 or 1500. So it's the exact same process if you have a Ram pickup or another Durango. It's the same thing. It's a pretty common problem for those to rust and cause the timing covers to relax and then squirt fluid out the side after your guy was to do the water pump. This was a really big problem on the earlier engines because they were steel plates. They weren't aluminum housings like this one is. So they would actually rust out, and that's why I put an RTV around in the corners, because that was old stuff, what you do. But the cover really wasn't that corroded out like a steel cover was. It just did it for extra insurance. But hopefully you like my video. If you have any questions, just comment down below. And, you know, if you have any comments about or questions about anything else, just feel free. It doesn't have to be about this video. Just feel free to put it down in the bottom, and I'm more willing to answer any questions. Eventually, I'm trying to do like a live questionnaire thing. If you guys have any questions, I try to do like a live feed. I'm trying to figure out a good time for me to do it. Right now, it's kind of crazy, but I'm gonna do something here in the future. If you guys want me to do something like that and you watch my video all the way through, just tell me down below and say, yeah, that's a great idea, or what times you think would be the best time for a guy to do a live feed. So thanks for watching, appreciate it, and yeah, have a good one.